let me show you how I made this. First, I'm gonna start off with a big shout out to Sean's Crafts. Obviously, this is not my idea, it's his, and I'm just executing it to see how well I can perform it and see how easy it is, so others that do it can also see how it gets done from obviously not the creator himself. Also, be sure to subscribe to Sean's Crafts. I have his channel link in the description below. Now, I don't know if this is a mistake or not, but I used the face shell template of the Miles Morales one rather than the Iron Spidey one. And the Iron Spidey one is the one I'm trying to do first for this first attempt. As you'll see, it goes into a lot of chaos later, but you'll see soon. I've actually attempted to make this video in 2021, but it ended up running to a major hiccup to make me not want to upload it anymore. The issue was that my bike brake cable wasn't the right size, so it couldn't articulate fully, and I couldn't make the lens move, and I gave up on the video.
Oh, no.
So make sure the housing, the metal housing inside the bike brake cable is long enough and actually articulates farther enough. Currently, I'm just snipping out the template of the face shell, and I will be later transferring this onto EVA foam. And now that it's transferred onto the EVA foam, it's time I cut it out. And it's completed. Now to put the pieces together. So I start with tape the pieces together, and then I super glue it to keep it in shape. Now, after all that gluing and puzzle piecing, is now onto the fiberglass and resin. The fiberglass along with the resin will single-handedly make it super duper durable and also give it a lot of rigidity, which the EVA foam does not have. Now, this was my first time using fiberglass along with resin. I didn't know how to apply it properly. I was just assuming you would just apply the resin and then apply the fiberglass. It was really difficult to do somehow. It looks easy, but you kind of have to manipulate it to where resin goes on first, and then fiberglass, and then resin again. You can't put the fiberglass and then resin above it because it doesn't seep through sometimes. So be sure to keep that in mind. I'm currently applying wood filler. This will obviously smoothen the deformities and ridges inside the mask currently, and this will just make it smoother, and obviously you'll sand it to give it a better finish. Also, I had to apply some water because it was really like coagulated and thick, so it didn't really apply on and like settle on it. So if that happens to you, apply some water. Okay, now on to my first and only attempt of the lens. This was a big problem. To begin with, Warbler is deadly expensive just for a good amount. The Warbler I bought was really small, and the template barely fit inside the Warbler I had, so that was already a major hiccup. I also wanted the lens to articulate further, so I didn't make the gash where the lens shuttered downwards. I made it deeper, but it's not like I used it anyway. But if this does work for you and you want it to articulate further, that is a spot you want to make like deeper. Now I'm cutting out the template for the lenses, and I'll be transferring that onto the aluminum sheet. Now, working on this part, I got really confused. I didn't know whether or not the Warbler part of the lens fit inside or was in between the actual face shell. That's why I was confused of whether or not how this is gonna work, because I'm gonna put the Miles Morales mask over it, which is gonna interfere with the articulation of the lens. So let me know if I'm wrong. You'll see what I'm talking about. Also, tell me why the push pins are RNG dependent. Since when was it random that the push pins are gonna have like an extra protrusion that made it look like a nail and some didn't? I was literally so confused, prying open a whole bunch of them because I didn't know which one was the perfect one. So I went into the store and I had to make sure there's a clear one with this specific shape. I'll put it up on the screen. If you want this to work, you have to get the specific shape. So not all push pins are gonna work. Keep that in mind. Since Warbler didn't work out too well for me when I was doing the lenses, I ended up just using cardboard. I used cereal box cardboard. You can also use like a really thin corrugated cardboard. And using those should be a pretty good substitute for doing the lenses. The additions to the shutters of the lens is probably one of the most difficult tasks here. Solely getting it to properly like work without friction and stuff is not easy. I don't know how Sean's Crafts did it, but hey, he's the pro here, so I'm just trying to learn off it, see what he can do. That's why I'm applying it. Out of this part, if I were to rate it, it's like a 9 out of 10 in difficulty, solely because keeping the push pin through the holes without it breaking through or it just falling and not gluing, it's a lot. So when you definitely attempt this, like, be sure to take your time. It's not going to be an easy task, so yeah. I was spamming a lot of super glue. You can tell because I have baking soda right beside me. Baking soda is like a magic. It's like as soon as you put it on super glue, it instantly dries it. So definitely attempt that if you are super gluing. As I started to hone in on the second lens and finish it, I figured out a major issue when applying and putting on the mask onto the face shell. The big issue was that there's a conflicting thing between the two face shells and lenses that Sean's Crafts made. The Miles Morales one is underneath the face shell, but the Iron Spidey one comes out because there's no actual mask or fabric that goes over. So me having to put a fabric over it will mess up the actual shutter of the lens, which it did when I attempted to, even as carefully as I could, which did make it mess up and glitch, and I was already on a time constraint, so I couldn't fix that anymore. I gave up on it and I moved on to the actual original one. In terms of difficulty, I will say the Miles Morales shutter lens is like a 2 out of 10. It's super duper easy. You don't have any difficulties doing this one. The only issue I'm facing currently is for the lens to fully articulate down and to fully articulate up. I'm still confused a little bit on how to get it to actually get a full range of motion on the shutter. Sometimes it glitches, it doesn't go up fully, sometimes it doesn't go down fully. I have to figure out what's wrong. Also, instead of using cereal box cardboard for the lenses, I used the actual aluminum sheet that he used for his Iron Spidey one. So that actually did make a difference. I felt like using the aluminum was easier than using the cereal box cardboard. Now, I will say that it turned out decently well. I still see a lot of hiccups in it, but to the normal eye, I guess it's all right. There's still like a few edges I want to clean up. Sometimes, like recently when I tried using it again, it kind of still glitches sometimes. I still want to figure out what's wrong. I'm going to try and edit it as much as I can to make it better, but so far it's not too bad. It works pretty well. And I think it covers the basis of having a shutter lens, adding expression to Spider-Man, which is the main premise. Here's me comparing the face shells from now and 2021. You can see a clear difference in face shape. I was able to definitely achieve the face shape way easier and better. It doesn't look as crooked and terrible. Though the eyes do articulate really far in the 2021 one. I still don't know what's wrong with mine though, but you can see a clear difference between my improvement, I guess. Myself in 2021 would probably give this difficulty like a 10 out of 10 because I literally couldn't do anything, but I just needed to figure out that the mic break cable was just the problem. But yeah, here's how it looked like. It looked really crooked. It's kind of bad, but the lens did shutter pretty well. But believe me when I say the Miles Morales shutter lens is really easy. I did this in like under a couple hours. I did it in basically one night. It was super easy to do. So if you ever want to attempt something really quick, a shutter lens mechanism, Miles Morales one is the way to go. And also it's better if you're actually going to use like a mask over a face shell. So if there is a way, please let me know in the comments. Like, help is always appreciated here. I'm always trying to improve, so leave comments below of your thoughts and improvements or anything. Really appreciate it. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to burn the like, burn the subscribe button, and also be sure to definitely turn on the notifications. It's very important for a small creator like me. So you're just gonna hear that and just not do anything about it? I'm waiting. Alright, I'm pretty sure you did that by now, right? Right? Don't mind me.
But I hope this video helps, and later, Dragon Ninjas.